San Diego Comic-Con 2019 is come and gone, and with it, we've gotten the confirmation that the Eternals is indeed coming to the MCU in 2020, along with cast announcements. The Eternals is a much less known series created by the Marvel juggernaut Jack Kirby back in the 1970s. But how does the group fit into the rest of the MCU, and what are their origins? What's up, guys? I'm Dave Klein, here to answer the question, who are the Eternals? The Eternals story goes like this. The universe is populated with giant, timeless, immortal gods called Celestials, who create experimental life on planets throughout the cosmos. Coincidentally, one of their experimental planets just happened to be Earth about 5 million years prehistory, where they found the start of human life, conducted their experiments, and gave rise to 3 different species of humanity: humans, Eternals, and Deviants, all of which evolved over time as the Celestials observed from afar. Humans were just regular humans, but Eternals and Deviants were special. Eternals were immortal, ageless, and beautiful, while Deviants were similarly timeless, but monstrous and cruel. As the 3 species evolved together, the Eternals inadvertently became the foundation for many of humanity's myths, the gods of various pantheons, the main characters in fables, etc., while the Deviants were driven underground to effectively become the basis for human concepts like demons or hell. With the eternal human-deviant trinity, Kirby was able to recontextualize the whole of human history in the Marvel Universe, but the effects were extremely localized at first. It took years, but eventually, the new creation myth was retroactively applied to characters like Thanos, yeah, that Thanos, who was revealed to be a deviant from his home planet of Titan, the result of another celestial experiment. The major conflict of Eternals-focused stories is usually twofold. They're constantly at war with the Deviants, who hate both the Eternals and all of humanity, but they also struggle against the Celestials, who tend to believe their experiments have shelf lives. The Celestials visit their planets in hosts to instigate apocalyptic events, like the biblical 40-day and 40-night flood, to hit the hard reset button on all life, something that both the Eternals and the humans tend to take issue with. Honestly, there are way too many Eternal and Deviant characters in the Marvel Universe to keep track of, so for the sake of simplicity, we'll focus on some of the main ones from the comics and who we know are going to be in the film. There's Icarus, played by Richard Madden, the de facto protagonist of Kirby's original series, whose name you may recognize from the Greek figure Icarus, as every character's name is similar to someone from one mythology or another. Icarus is a friend of humanity and one of the major players in rallying his Eternal brothers and sisters to play a role in the world of superheroes. Circe is a trickster Eternal with magic abilities that can control and shapeshift atoms into new forms. She's the basis for a whole bunch of myths and historical literature like the goddess Circe and Penelope, the wife of Odysseus, to name a few. Circe hasn't officially been cast in the movie, but given her prominence in the original comics, it's likely she'll show up somewhere. Athena, played by Angelina Jolie, is an Eternal who is constantly mistaken for the Greek goddess Athena, who is the inspiration for the city of Athens. You know, like the actual Athena of myth. She had an affair with a deviant leader named Crow, which resulted in twin half-deviant, half-Eternal children. Mockery, another major character in Kirby's comics, will be played by Lauren Ridloff. Mockery is known for his speed, his ability to generate light-based illusions, and is the only Eternal able to directly communicate with the dreamy Celestial, a Celestial marooned in a sort of coma deep within the Earth. Mockery's name was the inspiration for the Roman god Mercury. Kingo Sunin, an Eternal who lived during the Sengoku period of Japan, will be played by Kumail Nanjiani. In the comics, Kingo became a famous samurai actor in modern times, but it's likely his origins and story will be slightly changed given the actor. We also know Sprite will be a part of the series, a trickster who plays with atoms to goof on his fellow Eternals. He'll be gender swapped and played by Leah McHugh. In the more recent comics, he played a key role in trying to wipe the memories of his fellow Eternals in a scheme to turn himself into a regular human who could age. Apparently, being 11 years old forever has its downsides. Salma Hayek will be playing a gender-swapped Ajak. Ajak has major ties to both the Greeks, who mistook him for Ajak, a hero in the Trojan War, and the Aztecs, who worshipped him as Quetzalcoatl. Ajak has the strongest connection to the Celestials and is an expert in their mystical technology, making him one of the few Eternals able to communicate with them directly. Don Lee will be playing Gilgamesh. First brought up as the Forgotten One, he was sealed away by Zurus, the Eternals' version of Zeus, for seeking glory by interfering with the humans a few too many times, a tendency that got him mistaken for legendary heroes like Beowulf and Hercules. Finally, Festus will be played by Brian Tyree Henry, and as you may have guessed by his name, this is based off of the weaponsmith from Greek mythology, Hephaestus. Festus is a genius inventor and engineer who crafts weapons and tech for his fellow Eternals, including Kingo's samurai sword. As they're based off of various Greek, Roman, and Aztec gods, the powers of each Eternal are similar to the god that they're based off of. However, there are a handful of abilities that all Eternals seem to share. This includes levitating, shooting lasers out of their eyes, super strength, and enhanced endurance. Not only that, but they're all immortal, so the only way the Deviants can typically stop them is by forcing them into a sort of permanent coma-like sleep. At the moment, it's almost impossible to tell exactly how they'll fit into the MCU. During the Marvel Studios panel at San Diego Comic-Con, studio head Kevin Feige stated the Eternals, Deviants, and Celestials would be aliens who have lived in secret in the Marvel universe for centuries, but why they would have kept themselves hidden for so long is a mystery. In the comics, we have seen them working alongside heroes, some have even gone on to officially join the Avengers or squaring off against them. Regardless of where or how they enter the picture, it's clear that the Eternals will introduce an entirely new level of cosmic mythology for the MCU. Are you a fan of the Eternals, or is this your first time hearing of them? How do you think they'll fit into the MCU? Let us know in the comments below, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.